What is up, YouTube? Welcome back. We're here with the finale. That's right. We got the game theory. We got good old MatPat here with a part 4 of the ultimate timeline for FNAF. So let's get straight into the damn reaction. I'm here with one of my best friends, Coma. Link to his channel is in the description below. And also, I'm live over on Twitch at Aliciaxlife. You're currently watching Aliciaxdeath, but Aliciaxlife is my Twitch channel. Anyways, let's get into it.
Welcome to Game Theory, and the final part of my FNAF timeline, where today we're bringing our story to a close by talking about the most complicated and controversial part of the timeline that I've been dreading most of all, the end. The moment where we're finally forced to come to some
a lot of people do hate his videos, I guess.
Answers trying to explain what the heck we were watching in security briefs.
I like
He does a good
them.
job.
I like them.
I think he does a good job with them, so I'm like, his production value, like the lore, like, pretty top tier to me, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, I've been enjoying it a lot. Like, I feel like because we're not like diehard, already pre-knowing shit, we can like suspend disbelief and kind of just have a good like time riding out the line. I feel like people who like do heavy research and shit, who find contradictories and stuff, they might have a hard time with it. Like, I understand. I think this goes kind of both ways, but I respect the grind. Shit.
Death of the franchise itself as Mike and Henry figuratively and literally burn it all down. Today's episode, though, and the current end of this franchise is instead all about rebirth. The return of old characters in new forms.
Like me.
And the controversial rebirth of a franchise entering the next era of its story.
So it actually is new.
I won't be able to have any live talk back after this episode. I know, I promised one, I was really excited about it, but I just couldn't make it work with my schedule and all the other guests' schedules. That said, I still do plan on doing one over the coming weeks with special guests. Just make sure that you're subscribed and either have all notifications turned on, or you're just watching our community tab for the announcement as to when that's going to happen. And now, without any further ado, we finally reached the end and a new beginning to our story. Fazbear Entertainment was dead.
There is no need for you to return to work next week, as Fazbear Entertainment is no longer a corporate entity.
All debts have been paid.
But I need my paycheck, bro.
The company was outright
I'm gonna
dissolved.
go work
Even
now.
the memories of the horrors that had happened there.
I guess I'll work at a regular pizza place.
I'm sorry, they said even the horrors have like disappeared from the public consciousness. I don't think I'd be forgetting.
You killed like 20 kids and stuffed them into robots. What do you mean? No one's. That's if 20 kids just got murdered in like over the course of a couple of years, and no one's like, oh wow, it was old Afton, man, and you know, like what? Who's gonna forget that? It's been like 10 years. What you mean?
I can't get over the fact that their families don't even like they don't even talk about it no more. Like, yeah, decades later is not a lot of time, chat. Bro, if my kid died and it's 30 years later, I'm not forgetting.
I'm pressing the issue. I'm like, hey, we're gonna find out what happened to these kids, bro, because this guy just did this and dipped. We never heard from him again. Somebody gotta find something. I'm gonna hire anybody.
Bro, even like 50 years later, like if I was not telling my there's no way your grandparents wouldn't be like, oh yeah,
my brother went missing. We were 12.
Yeah. Like, that's wild. Like, we just don't talk about like what?
The people were gone.
That's okay. All right.
William was dead. Henry was gone. A whole generation of young Emilys and Aftons had lost their lives to the horrors of the pizzeria. All of them collateral damage to the man in the bunny suit. Everyone that company
look
like that.
was dead.
Look like that.
Well, all except one.
Pay your child support, you deadbeats! I'm keeping the diamond ring.
That's me.
I also set the house on fire.
Clara Afton. She'd been there in the early days. Back
The mom. Where'd the mom go? Yeah, where has she been?
Well, she just flat out left. Remember, she just flat out left. She got depressed and shit. I mean, she don't even like Mike like that because Mike killed her other baby, and then her other baby died besides that one. So
with William,
the other one did get chomped, basically. Never mind.
Thriving
and the other one got
the
scooped.
ideal family. But shortly after their youngest son died, things started to change. William had become distant, lost in his work, obsessive. She had watched him change from this irritatingly brilliant man that she had fallen in love with to a drunken monster struggling to hold himself together. And despite her trying to reach out to him in those desperate days, he was just too far gone.
Hey, bars. Only Doom? Oh, empty tube.
Hey.
Never mind.
Admit it, you wanted to let me in.
For her sake,
I did,
she
I
had
ain't
to
gonna
leave
lie.
the
Yeah,
relationship.
damn,
Sorry.
Shawty, what's
There,
up?
she largely faded into
Milf.
Come on in.
a mystery from William's past, a footnote in his history. And that was fine for her. She wanted to leave that part of her life behind. She tried to move forward, never wanting to hear the name Freddy Fazbear again. A
That's that
time
PTSD.
defined by mistakes
Yup.
and broken promises. But then, the paperwork started to arrive. As Fazbear
Ooh.
Entertainment began to close as a corporate entity, suddenly her mail was flooded with notifications, requests, obligations. She had been there since the beginning, helping William in the early days of his business. And
Yeah.
now, as a shareholder and sole living member of the Afton family, all copyrights and trademarks of both Afton Robotics and Fazbear
Don't
Entertainment.
tell me that
Damn,
she
she got
restarted.
everything?
I hope she didn't restart the franchise.
Nah,
I
she
hope-
not. She traumatized. Nah, she not. 100%.
Maybe she's like, I lost everything to them, so I'll bring it all back, and then she puts all the animatronics in there.
Entertainment passed on to her.
You better just
Memories
sell
of
a company to
this
Facebook or
past
something real
life
quick.
she
You know,
all left
outsource to
behind.
somebody else. Who
Looking at
cares?
the blueprints,
Hopefully.
contracts, the memos, she felt old wounds begin to reopen.
Oh,
the
hell no.
regrets of a happy
Damn.
family that had been torn away from her. William had always been brilliant. That's what had attracted her to him in the first place. But he'd also
Really?
been too blinded by
He got no
obsession
hair.
and pride.
That's the
Bald men need
deterrent.
love too.
That's right.
He kind of bald. He bald though. I mean, sometimes bald people look extra angry. Like they got an extra ounce of anger in them. I don't know. He look like he angry because he bald though, kid.
The lack of followers.
kinda-
The lack of follow. Lack of, fuck, I can't say
Any
follicles.
kind of short,
Fuck it.
like short, bald, not a good combination. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Honestly, short in general, because I'm short and I'm always angry. So I mean, I think it might just
Yeah.
be.
Double. So he got the double anger amp boost to his personality. Man, somebody need to give him some nerfs. I mean, he's dead, I guess. So he got nerfed, I guess. But yeah, he didn't have that many buffs in the beginning. That's all I gotta say. Help him.
Someone said, "What about tall and bald?" It's okay. You still bald, bitch. Like I don't know.
You tall, like no one can see the baldness, low key. You can't blind people like short
Yeah.
people can, you know?
Like you can't unless you put your head down for them, but like you're not doing that, so I don't think it's gonna bother them.
Jealous, too petty,
Boy,
too
looking like King
unable
Neptune.
to actually see a bigger picture. But now, holding the paperwork that contained decades
Yeah,
of
but you're
heartbreak and
ridiculous.
trauma, she realized it was
Jeez.
her turn. She was
Yeah.
holding.
What's
the
she mean?
power. This was her chance.
Oh,
And
she
To do what?
100% making the. Oh, that's she made security breach, bro.
No.
She made the new one. She made the new one. Oh hell no.
thought resonated in her head.
This
I
killed
will
your
put
whole
them back
family.
together.
I've been saying that. Like, I
Killed
was
your
putting them
whole
back together.
family.
Remember I said shit like that? I was like, you should bring them back
Yes,
together. Yeah.
Put them all back together.
Yep.
She
What
would
you
be the
mean?
one to rebuild this family, to
Just sell
rebuild
the Facebook.
pieces of that shattered life, to reclaim the kids that Fazbear had stolen from her. But how?
They're
Looking at
dead.
William's
Everybody's
work
dead.
now laid out before her. She knew
I don't think
that
it's
he
the
had been
Fazbear that stole it from her. I think it's your own husband. I think your own husband made a lot of mistakes here.
on something.
He was the
collecting
worst.
lemons, robotic humanoids, digital conscience transference. The pieces were all in place. They were just scattered, fragmented. It
What?
was almost like there were too many ideas going in too many different directions. It was such an
Good.
important idea that she reiterated that point to herself. There were too many ideas going in too many different directions. That said, there had to be
Okay,
a way to save it.
Is
that a
all. She
nod
just
to The
needed
Office?
put it
He's
all
trying to-
together.
It's like the author. He's
To
trying to shoot
rebuild
a,
her
thought
family,
I shot a
she would
Scott
first
Coughlin.
need to rebuild the
Coughlin.
franchise that had stolen them away from her. With ownership over the characters, their licenses, the technology patents, and the Fazbear name, she converted the corporation back to an LLC, a structure for smaller businesses that are usually
Wow.
family-owned. The irony was fitting. From there, she would need
GG.
Remnant, and lots of it. Remnant was the key. Clearly, in the
No,
later
no.
years of his life,
Oh hell no.
No,
Oh,
no,
shit.
no. Lady, you don't know what you're doing. You should have just
William
left it
had been using
alone.
Circus Babies Entertainment and Rentals as a remnant farm, sending robots to kids' birthday
Wow.
parties in the hopes of nabbing bits of the stuff here and there. But clearly, it wasn't enough.
Nabbing
He had,
kids?
What, like 4?
Nabbing,
maybe
she said
5
nabbing parts,
animatronics
right? I don't know what that means by nabbing parts. I'm gonna
What
go
does
back.
that mean? Yeah, what does that mean? Nabbing parts of what?
Sending robots to birthday parties in hopes of nabbing.
Rentals as a remnant farm, sending robots to kids' birthday parties in the hopes of nabbing bits of the stuff here and there. But
Bits of the
Remnant?
bits of the
He's
remnant here
grabbing
and there. I
The
don't.
soul. What?
clearly, it wasn't enough. He had, what, like 4, maybe 5 animatronics going out every week? No. It was a decent idea, but to get the remnant they required, it needed scale. Dozens, hundreds of animatronics, all out there,
Hundreds?
all gathering remnant from unsuspecting customers. But to do that would require help, something William would never ask for. William had kept everything in-house. His obsession with control limited him. Clara, though, she wasn't nearly
Oh my god.
Oh,
They-
Lord, help this family. Yeah, just I ain't gonna lie. Just strike them, smite them. Somebody smite this family off the face of the earth. These guys are all just terrible people at every moment.
She's like, bitch, I can outsource. Like, oh hell no.
What are you talking about? She said, robots, Freddy Fazbear's in Korea? Or in India? In Britain?
Yep, everywhere.
No.
Take it global, baby. I need it.
That precious. A plan like this required partners, people outside of Fazbear to do the heavy lifting. So she contacted a mid-sized delivery company, DLZ Shipping Solutions, to help build replicas of all the original animatronics.
Oh no.
And with delivery apps being all the rage, why not an animatronic delivery service? Order one to celebrate your birthday, your Halloween party. How about a 4th of July picnic? We'll invite Liberty Chica and 4th of July.
Oh, they put.
I ain't gonna lie, DLC is crazy. Look at the thing.
Oh, that's actually funny as fuck though. But like,
Hey, I ain't gonna lie.
they pulled up the cell phone. It's kind of like the AR game, right?
Oh yeah, that's probably why. Actually, she probably makes the AR game from this. Then, I mean, she's the one who started it. I guess she said help wanted anyway. She needed help for real. Damn, no.
Live Freddy on over. She would make sure that they made skins for every occasion. Chocolate Bonnies for Easter. Shamrock.
Okay, actually, I would 100% buy the DLC for Chocolate Bunny. That's adorable.
The 4th of July Freddy kind of crazy. I like they got a little explosion back. What is this? A Shamrock Freddy?
Yeah.
Freddy's for St. Patrick's Day. Dia de los Muertos.
Oh, okay.
That looks creepy.
No.
That actually looks insane.
No, I ain't about that one.
Gus. And thus, the Fazbear Funtime service was born.
That's right, with the Fazbear Funtime.
This is from the AR game. I've been saying that, chat. Why you atting me? I said it's from the AR game. I was like, oh, these motherfuckers don't listen.
Bro, we smart, bro. We already locked in, right?
I said I saw the cell phone. Yep.
You'll never be alone again.
Yeah.
You'll always have someone watching your back.
Was it ridiculous? Absolutely.
What is
was
that?
It a
Is that the Night King?
No doubt. It was exactly the
dope.
sort of thing that William would have hated, but it needed to be done to get enough remnant. Normally, the novelty of ordering an animatronic wore off after like what, 1, maybe 2 times? But with new skins for new holidays, suddenly you had yourself an animatronic perfect for every occasion. It would keep people hooked.
I like the way he holds that icicle though. I really don't fuck with that. I don't really.
What is he doing? He's about to kill them kids. Chill.
I need remnant.
An animatronic perfect for every occasion. It would keep people hooked. It would keep them ordering the latest and greatest that Fazbear Entertainment LLC had to offer. And all the while, they'd be collecting and returning the remnant back to her. In a word, it was brilliant. There was just one problem with it. No one trusted the Fazbear name. The company's brand was still mud in the public eye.
Oh, good. Okay, the public eye didn't forget.
Good.
Franchise known for murdering children. Nothing kills a party quite like the threat of death, you know.
Yeah.
So she needed to find a way to credit the stories that had come before. She needed to win back the public's affections, reactivate some nostalgia for the spooky stories of their childhoods. She needed a game. Multiple games, in fact.
Yeah.
And maybe a theory.
Yeah.
To us. They lied to all of us. They told us that the whole point of this VR game was to undo the bad PR done by a rogue indie game developer. But that's not true at all. Those indie games were designed to conceal and make light of what happened. This isn't just an attempt to rebrand. It's an elaborate cover-up.
Struggling game developers
she on her government stuff.
Damn.
Most working on their magnum opus between shifts at the Dollar General. So she found one. Steve just picked him out of obscurity. The right mix of desperate to say and
bro.
Do anything.
You know he's not getting a job. Let's stop.
He fell right in line, as expected, delivering stupid little things with dumb generic names like Mangle's Quest, Balloon Boy's Air Adventure, Five Nights at Freddy's. Bad gameplay with even worse graphics, but hey, they got the job done.
That's what I love to see.
Talking about the clues inside of these things, searching for the hidden lore. They were actively making jokes about dead kids at pizzerias.
Do you know what, though?
Is that us?
That's amazing that they kind of incorporated, like, like us who were, like, are getting interested in the lore in the background. They kind of, like, put us into it, kind of. That's cool. I like that.
Her husband's twisted
history. I'm not laughing at dead kids. Oh, God.
To a mere Nancy Drew mystery.
Did you say you're not laughing at dead kids? We were laughing at dead kids. You made a joke about killing kids.
Like, you know...
Last part, part 3.
Only Balloon Boy.
No, part 3 lore. You said.
What'd I do? Oh, my fault. Man, I'm not like that for real.
You're like, what? I blacked out.
Yeah, I don't remember that, honestly.
Yep.
Do you? To be solved.
I do.
The plan.
Clearly.
Freddy Fazbear's was.
Where's the video?
Things were going shockingly well. Her takeover and reboot of the franchise was full and complete. Suddenly infused with cash, she built the largest,
she's a demon, bro.
project yet, the Mega Pizzaplex. William
Mega Pizzaplex. Yeah, she became top 50 CEOs after this, bro. What is this game?
She honestly, she's exactly what Afton actually needed. Like that's crazy. She's so good at monopolizing. Well, his ego got in the way. She a better version of him. She a better version of him. She's doing it better.
Had always been
W
so
murderers.
visionary, but always thought so small scale. He was careful to a fault. Not her, though. She knew that this latest project needed to be big. It needed to be flashy. It needed to be a palace for children. A place that got people checking out the
say it like that. I don't like that either.
I don't like the way he said palace for children in that kind of way. That's a little...
Palace for kids. I'm like, oh. Okay.
That sounded a little weird. I'm glad we both got the ick at the exact same time. We both went like, ugh, at the same time.
What is he talking about, dude? Like, this guy out of here.
Fazbear products. So with a steady supply of remnant flowing in, it was finally time. The stage was
she's
set.
happy.
It was time to get to her real goal, literally rebuilding a family.
Yay, family. Family-chan.
March 2035. The first was obvious.
2030. Whoa, wait, how many years is it?
The one that was
That's been a lot of years.
Ripped away from her. She had seen down in his bunker that William had gotten very close to replicating artificial humans using animatronic technology, and so that's exactly what she would do.
I'm sorry, if I brought my like if one of my kids died, I brought them back looking like that. I don't know if I could still love them. I don't know.
Yeah, we might have to scrap that one. Just. Sorry, buddy.
We gotta find a new one. Sorry, that's bad. We did a bad job.
We'll upload your contents to another body.
His shaggy brown hair, his favorite striped shirt, even down to small details that no one would notice, like the band-aid on his left knee. Williams' research had even found ways of making animatronics that could bleed and process food, making them virtually indistinguishable from a typical human.
Oh, nah, he making like cyborgs.
What he actually was, unless he was explicitly told. The only things that could possibly ruin the illusion were any overrides to his internal systems. If something were to, say, interfere with the cameras that he had in his eyes, or cause some sort of a core reboot to his hard drive, or x-ray his metallic bones, then yeah, he would be exposed. But otherwise, to the outside world, he was just your typical, normal human.
Oh my god, is Gregory...
They made AI. Yeah, he's a cyborg, it sounds like.
Human boy.
Or android at this point, not a cyborg. He's an android.
But it was one thing to build him. It was another to help him remember his identity. He died so young, so early in their history that there was no preserved memories for him. No documentation that she could just download into his digital brain. So bit by bit, she trained him, forcing him
Do you think that... I don't know if I might probably be making a really bad leap and people are going to get mad at me. But I was just thinking maybe the blonde security guard might actually just be his mama. Being like not trying to shock him.
She looks too young. She looks too young to be his mom.
That's true. She is young. Yeah, you're right.
His mom looked like
it's been a lot of years.
2035. Yeah, it's been he's like 60.
Oh fuck, you're right. Time wise, Jesus, that's a lot of years. Yeah.
To remember who he was. In a corner of the room, she even made a makeshift dinner table, a reminder of their happier days. The family recreated 2 brothers, a sister, a father, and the mother at the head of the table. The one in charge, the one in command, the one bringing all of this to fruition. But his progress was admittedly slower than he would have liked. At first, he could only communicate through simple ones and zeros, then rudimentary drawings and crude letters.
We're such weebs, bro.
I don't know why I did that. I was like, wait, why did I do the middle of the video? What's good? What's
images of his past life started to come through. Balloons.
Oh, he's learning.
Houses, bears, and faces, birthday parties. All for me. Gregory was alive. As the robot boy embraced her, she felt a warmth that she hadn't.
Then he ripped her skull out. I'm like,
this was the joy that she'd been working towards. This was what it was all for. Her son, back in her arms again. The plan was working. She had to keep going. Next was William.
Yeah, she's smart enough.
If truly going to be put together, she would need him.
Oh,
and she knew exactly.
Oh, nah. Don't bring this murderer back. You know he did the kids.
Where Henry had
she don't even care. She just.
Bro, he killed your daughter, low key. He made her get chomped up.
Okay. All right.
Wrapped it.
He does always come back.
Specifically why she insisted on building a pizzaplex there over the sinkhole. It was the best place to hide what her true intentions were with the entire operation.
Oh, she's evil too.
Wreckage.
Yeah, of course she is.
He was right where she thought he'd be. Seeing the putrid shell of the Springtrap suit, though, was not something she was prepared
Ew.
for. The rotting corpse of William Afton was disgusting. Scorched flesh fused into the fur lining. Hollow black sockets where eyes once were. A smell that reeked of burned carbon and bloody iron. He was no longer flesh. He was just the tangled sinews of a creature that was once called human. How far this brilliant man had fallen. It was clear that her work was cut out for her on this one. Afton was practically lifeless. The man may not have been able to die, but he was about as close as you could come. And his body would need a lot of reconstruction. Replacement arms and endoskeleton reinforcements were the top priority.
Yeah, you can't make him.
Pulled
Thank
from
God.
their new line of glam rock animatronics. She'd have to see if they had any spare Bonnie parts lying around that they could steal. In the meantime, though, she threw the husk that was once her husband into a life support pod infused with aerosolized
Oh,
red.
Oh, he comes back. He comes back for real.
They put him in a healing chamber.
Recovering his body was recovering his mind. In his current state, he was comatose, an empty shell. Severe brain damage starts at temperatures over 108 degrees Fahrenheit. 42 degrees Celsius, and years of repeated fires had burned his brain to goo. Gone was the brilliant, frustrating mind that had drawn her to him in the first place. But she had a plan. Unlike her darling boy Gregory,
why she look so dreamy?
had found ways to record his consciousness. Fundamentally, the brain is only a series of electrical connections after all, so why couldn't you replicate that in the form of a standard circuit board? In essence, you could create a digital consciousness. And one thing she knew about William, he was nothing if not cautious. A planner. Someone who had backup plans to his back.
Did he have a backup conscious? Don't tell me.
Was buried in piles of old animatronic CPUs, a record of Afton himself.
Wow,
I can't.
Convenient, so convenient to have a whole copy of himself laying around his body.
Holy shit.
Who made this game, bruh?
Someone was definitely here during the night. It had to have been the client. I mean, they sent us that stuff in the first place with no explanation, told us to scan it, said it would expedite the process so we wouldn't need to program any pathfinding ourselves.
Unlike the other games that she'd paid to have made in the past, this one had a different purpose. This wasn't about PR, it was about getting William back up and running, spreading his virus to the masses.
You acknowledge that Fazbear Entertainment is not responsible for accidental digital consciousness transference, real-world manifestations.
She hired a new developer. So
digital conscious transference.
To scan the boards and bring her husband into the system. And because of the immersive nature of VR, William's consciousness would be able to merge with the player, giving him a new body, a new agency. There was just one complication. Afton's hold wasn't as powerful as she had hoped. He wasn't able to gain complete control. The first trial run, Jeremy was so desperate to escape from his grasp that he sliced his own face off with a paper.
Oh my God.
Afton's followers were reluctant, to say the least. But it was the second attempt that looked like it had the potential to kill two birds with one stone. Enter Vanessa. Mrs. Afton wanted a surrogate.
Oh no! She was kind of bad. Damn.
Daughter. Her darling Elizabeth would have been a young woman at this point if she had lived. And Clara wanted someone who wasn't Elizabeth.
Yo, the mom is the worst one, actually. She might be worse than Afton.
Oh my God.
She might be the worst one.
She got a replacement Elizabeth. So Vanessa's her own daughter. Oh, hell no. That's what, because I was like, Vanessa looking after Gregory like that, and he's like technically a robot is weird, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm like, it makes sense now because that's the surrogate daughter to the mama. That's why I was trying to think of it. Maybe it was the mama. But no, it wasn't. It's a surrogate daughter. Oh, hell no.
Just rebuilt her like Gregory? Sure, but she decided against it because she wanted an actual human mother-daughter connection. Well, that, and it would be redundant and narratively unsatisfying to have two robot kids in the same family. What could she say? William had put a lot of tools on the table for her to use, and she was planning on using them all. Plus, Elizabeth had always been so loyal to Daddy. It was time to give her a second chance, a true choice. And Vanessa seemed to be the perfect candidate to fill the role.
Your dad's name.
She got green eyes just like Baby, too.
Play fair, did he? He used to make your mum look bad in court. He manipulated you. I know your mum after she lost the custody case.
Oh, she killed herself. Oh, shit.
She started as a QA tester at Silver Parasol Games, a VR game development company that was part of her plan to bring back William. But more importantly, Vanessa checked all the correct boxes. Right age, blonde, green eyes with a fondness for flowers and the outdoors. In many ways, it was her daughter all over again. Except it wasn't just looks and personality. What really mattered was Vanessa's mind. underconfident, coming from a broken home, motherless, able
Oh,
to
this
be
manipulation is crazy.
Oh, that's wild. She goes, you got so much trauma. Let me
He
manipulate.
said, I'm gonna take that. We got one, boys.
Oh, God.
Scheming real quick.
Look at her fucking face. You right.
Look at that. He said, we got him. We got him.
Oh.
It's innocent little baby.
Dear old daddy, just as the real Elizabeth would have wanted.
I will make you proud,
Sick.
Daddy.
While testing the VR game,
no,
William's
you
digital
won't.
consciousness merged with Vanessa. Oh sure, she fought, fragmenting Afton's code into a series of tapes hidden across the game, trying to do web searches to regain control over her life, but it wasn't enough.
Please.
She was weaker than Jeremy. She was a thrall that, despite occasional moments of lucidity, had to obey. And with Vanessa, it was a two-for-one deal. She was getting a daughter back, while also bringing her husband one step closer to reactivation. She just had to make sure that Vanessa was headed the right way. The reborn Gregory was an expert hacker, part of the benefits of being an Afton and a robot. So Clara had him keeping tabs on Vanessa, hacking into her emails and trailing her therapy sessions to ensure the future Elizabeth was falling in line. If any of the therapists started to ask
Man, that's so fucking
This is
sad.
crazy.
You can't even have your
Damn.
own therapy. Like, that's wild.
too many questions,
What did she
they
do
were
wrong,
promptly
bruh?
dismissed from their position.
Dismissed?
And while
They
Gregory
killed-
kept tabs on Vanessa's personal life, Mrs. Afton made sure to clear a path for her.
Her trust
profession-
issues must be massive. Poor
Oh my
Vanessa.
God.
Like, not even her therapist can live. God damn.
With silver
He said, "We can't
parasols
trust
collapsed in
nobody."
the hands of the anomaly, she then had the possessed Vanessa bring the contaminated circuit boards to DLZ shipping and the Fazbear Funtime service. More glitches, more Remnant, more Afton. But it was her last move that was the best. In a true masterpiece of poetry, she brought Vanessa over to be chief security officer at the Pizzaplex. A true family tradition to don the hat and badge. And all it took was a recommendation from the top as well as some emails marked for deletion. Sure, Vanessa didn't have relevant experience for the job, but when it comes directly from the CEO, does it really matter? Husband,
true.
son, daughter. A corpse, a robot, a human.
Wow.
All that was left was Michael. Poor, troubled Michael. The boy that killed her
Yeah, Michael's
youngest.
gone.
The one that would spend years
She
trying
hates
to make his
Michael.
guilty
Yeah, there's no way
conscience
she-
right again.
there's no
A
way she likes him, right?
self-professed protector.
Yeah.
Well, she knew she needed him to complete the family. Something told her that the problem had already solved itself. Something had
The problem solved itself. I don't want him coming back.
Yeah, that's crazy.
shifted.
She did not
using
like that
Glamrock
boy.
Freddy to excavate the buried pizza place.
I have been here before. I found these.
Oh, that's Mike.
Oh, shit, Mike!
Path. I have
That's
changed
Mike. That's my good. Mike's the only good one out of everybody.
but I can protect you.
Yeah, he tried to protect his little brother again with the
Oh.
Maybe it was the remnant that had coursed through Michael's veins. Maybe it was the spirit of Michael living on as a protector. But he was there, somewhere inside of Glamrock Freddy. She could feel
Holy
it.
shit.
And just like that, she'd won. She'd done it. Sure, there were still some kinks to work out, some final brainwashing of Vanessa, some rehabilitation of William, but they were there. Finally,
My
all
family's
together
back.
again under one
That's
roof.
wild.
Where'd she go, though?
Reunited. A happy ending. And that's how it could have ended. That's how it should have ended.
Oh,
had
God.
it not been for a few unanticipated developments.
What
for
is
one,
that?
something was
I
just
don't know.
wrong with the Pizzaplex. Almost as if the entire building was haunted, possessed. Puppet plushies hiding on ceilings, behind crates, places that they had no earthly way of belonging.
Okay.
Staff bots with greasy
Oh, yeah, I'm good.
tears down their eyes, acting like they were being puppeteered by some sort of a nightmare. Even their sounds had the echo of nightmares long past.
Oh, I'm good.
It was as though the past refused to move on. As long as our
Yeah, that
husband
boy
was
Henry
around,
said,
it too
we gotta
would
kill
go.
him. That boy Henry came out with the shooters. He said, yes, sir. You try to bring him back, I'm gonna kill him again.
Yep.
Linger.
Ain't
Only
nobody
now,
surviving.
it wasn't just in one body, but it was in the essence of the building itself. She'd
Yes,
seen
sir.
stories of houses built on burial grounds getting possessed by angry spirits, but she'd never assumed that it could be real. Then again, in a world of living spirit metal and mind-controlling glitches, who was she to be so judgmental?
True.
The whole thing was ridiculous.
True,
Why
yeah.
would this be the line that she refused to cross? After all, the Pizzaplex was built over the burial ground of angry spirits, but it was the power cords that finally convinced her that something was wrong. Suddenly, these cords were striped black and white, like the security puppet from generations ago. The very foundations of this place, the materials and wires that constituted it, were rebelling against her, against the Aftons, against the quest to bring them all together again. And it was being helped by something else. Something slithering through the building. Maybe they were
Slithering?
connected, she couldn't be sure, but a blob
What?
of living wires could be heard oozing through the
Oh,
wall.
Oozing?
Pieces and parts of the old
What is that?
animatronics showcased in Rockstar Row. She could only assume that it was a byproduct of all the remnant they'd been collecting. From Afton's testing, she knew that both light and dark remnant existed. One of positive
there's
emotions
different
and
elements?
the other created from anguish.
Bro, they got
Wow.
light and dark
I did not know that.
Pokemon. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, hey, that's cool. That's a little lore bit right there. Light and dark remnant.
Perhaps this thing.
What is that? What is that?
If that ain't dark remnant, I don't know what is.
Yeah, that's a damn demon. I'm not touching that way. I'm running.
Oh, hell
Run
no.
away.
Parts of the pizzeria's history, a collection of the hatred still housed inside these defunct endoskeletons and exosuits. As long as it was left alone, it seemed to be harmless. But if any Afton outside of Michael got too close, it would lash out wildly.
Yeah.
Even young Gregory, looking to punish the family that had been complicit in its horrible creation. Little did she know, though, that Gregory should have been her biggest concern. That bringing the family together would have some unforeseen consequences. Gregory
starts
was
tweaking
normally
out.
the goodest of boys. She had literally built him that way. But lately, he'd been disappearing more and more often, disobeying her orders. Requests. She knew that he loved playing on the arcade machines once the Pizzaplex closed, being so good as to top the leaderboard on practically all of them. But lately,
Damn, Gregory
there was
crazy
nowhere
like
to be
that.
found.
Damn,
She
he a
suspected his
gamer.
absence had to do with Glamrock Freddy's failed performance the other night, when he malfunctioned live on stage. Almost as though the core programming of Freddy responded to seeing this rebuilt small boy. Almost like it awakened something inside of him. She'd have to make sure that Vanessa was on the lookout for him,
Consciousness?
but she'd soon come to learn
Yeah.
that
Oh,
Vanessa
so this is the plot of Security Breach.
Yeah, because he said like Gregory, I was like, and he's like Landmark Freddy, his brother, like protecting him, and then Vanessa's his dad or somewhat of his dad. This is insane
An
to think
surrogate
about.
daughter sort of thing. It's like a mesh of both. Oh, hell no.
Oh,
It
God.
wasn't enough. Whether it was the influence of the nightmare puppet or a reawakened hatred of animatronics seated deep in Gregory's code, something had caused him to rebel, to rip apart
And I
each
just
animatronic
snapped.
in the pizza
Rip
place.
apart?
Bit by bit, this
God
boy was
damn.
tearing down the empire that she'd so
Yeah, he was
painstakingly
mad.
built, freeing Vanessa from her mind control, destroying the remains of Afton in the basement, setting Glamrock Freddy loose.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
So
Wait.
Vanessa got out of her mind control.
Wait, so she's good at she's good in the game or just
Maybe it happens during the game,
halfway through?
or
Maybe it's halfway through or some shit like
I'm
that.
not sure.
From her
Yeah.
mind control, destroying the remains
In the
of
basement?
Afton in the basement,
And they
setting
blow up the
Glamrock
basement?
Freddy
Yes,
loose.
sir.
As her
Yes,
carefully
sir.
created world crumbled around her one more time, she began to plot her revenge. She would have to bring them all to ruin. And there you have it, my
Oh.
friends. Nearly a
Wait, that's not, wait, what?
Bitch, you
That's how
brought them
DLC
back,
starts?
and now she goes, "I brought you back. I'm gonna take you out a second time, bitches."
Hey,
Like, oh my
That's
god.
like W mom. That's my mama.
decade in the making, my FNAF timeline for where the franchise is here in 2023. The year of Fazbear Frights, by the way. As always, it wouldn't be right for me to finish without going over some of the more controversial takes that I just handed out. I think we can all agree that this part of the timeline was always going to be the hardest. So let me just break down some of the major points.
Okay.
First of all, the biggest swing of this episode, and obviously the one
Where'd
that
the mom
everything
go?
else rests upon, Mrs. Afton being the CEO of Fazbear Entertainment LLC. Here's why I went with this route. Now, first and foremost, the head of Fazbear Entertainment is the single biggest mystery that we're meant to solve at this point in the lore. The Ultimate Guide brings it up repeatedly. Who's running the show? Who is okaying these decisions? And in the security breach memos, we get multiple mentions of someone manipulating things from the top down. Whoever this is, they are the person driving forward
Okay.
every other facet of late-stage FNAF lore here. They're the puppet master
Well, it has
who's
to be
hiring
her.
the indie
But I thought she
devs. They're the
died
ones
earlier.
relaunching the brand.
I know she left. I don't know if she died though.
Because he made a public option. I mean, just because I didn't say she died actually, but I just assumed she was gone because she left. And there's no confirmed death for her, so that makes sense, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Building the Pizzaplex over the burial ground. So
Who else would?
everything
Henry
at the
wouldn't do
end
it
of the
again.
Timeline relies
Yeah,
on
no,
this
no
one
shot, yeah.
singular answer. Now, as
Maybe
I
a
see it, there are
fan.
two possibilities here.
fan.
One, an
Oh,
adult
if it's
robot.
a crazed fan, that would be such a cop out. I would not like it to be a crazed fan. Oh hell
It'd
no.
be too easy. Just like, oh, just a random guy that saw. He's like, I remember Freddy's back when I was 5, and now I saw it. Just like I get would tie back into like basically Will's like Afton's origins, like because he saw the dancing monkey or dancing Freddy
Dancing
thing.
bear,
and
yeah,
it was-
yeah.
So like he saw like the dancing animatronics. Like, wow, I would love to see this again. And he got older, and then he like got money or something like that to make it make sense. It'd be cool. It'd be a nice little nod, but Not enough.
We see older versions of robot kids in the fourth closet, or Mrs. Afton. Could it be someone completely new to the franchise? Absolutely yes, but in a game with so many returning faces and repeating themes, it would be pretty random and arbitrary. So,
right, that's exactly what we were saying,
who then would it be? Well, Elizabeth always wants to please her daddy, so she'd be most likely wanting to bring him to life. But then, what's Vanessa's role in all of this? Vanessa is clearly meant to be a parallel for Elizabeth. Same hair, same eyes, similar backstories.
I mean, it could be also like, it could also be that, like, just to spout a random theory, like, obviously it could be really wrong, but, like, what if Elizabeth wanted to have, like, a reflection of herself, like, who's actually human and can actually grow up and become an adult, and, like, that's how Vanessa gets involved?
That could be the case, yeah. Because we don't know, I guess we don't know what happened with Baby, because I guess she became there, but I remember the last video said there was, like, 2 personalities of her, like, the baby and, like, I think it was Afton's daughter and Henry's daughter and something like that, but I don't know what happened with that either. Like, that was kind of left out. Because we don't know what happened. Did she die too? Or did she become the puppet?
Motherfuckers got murdered. I just don't remember who got shoved in wood.
No.
The Afton family back together, which seems to clearly be the case in Security Breach, then there's no need for Vanessa to be involved at all. We already have Elizabeth running the show. It would also mean that we suddenly have 2 robot kids running around, which feels narratively repetitive and quite frankly kind of dumb. Now look at Mrs. Afton. We know next to nothing about her outside of any clues that we can get from Immortal and the Restless and Bellora's song. But what her being head of Fazbear does...
I thought they took a clip from something else. That's actually like a part of the... That's what she was watching on TV and shit, because she was always in front of the TV.
So that was like her, like, mirror. It was like a sly way to put her narration for her life. Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Okay.
Nice little lore bit.
And the Restless
I like that.
and Bellora's song. But what her being head of Fazbear does is make every other piece of the lore fit. Suddenly, you can have one of every other type of character. One robot kid in Gregory, one brainwashed human in Elizabeth/Vanessa, one OG corpse in William, and one possessed animatronic in Mike. Narratively, it makes everything else cleaner. Legally, it's also the option that makes the most sense. As I call out in my narrative, she'd likely have some stake in the original company and all of its assets. So as Fazbear folds as a company, I'd suspect a lot of it would return back to her. But there was one clue that really sold me on this particular direction, and that was this right here, in the post-it room. The big lore central of Security Breach, a dinner table scene with the whole family, including the mother. And not only is she there, she is at the head of that table, the position of highest honor and responsibility. She is the one in charge, with William being relegated off to the side.
Girl boss.
This scene shows that we have to include Mom in there somewhere, and the only place it makes sense for her to be is at the top. Now, there is one big dilemma with my interpretation of all this. The Ultimate Guide really seems to point out that the head of Fazbear doesn't want the glitch trap virus to spread. They call out one particular email in FNAF AR where the legal team calls a cease and desist to all action about scanning the circuit board.
Oh, because they don't want, like, another...
We're told that the circuit boards get stolen back by the client, presumably once they realize what danger is on there, trying to stop glitch trap before he spreads and gets out of hand. Here's the problem with that, though. If the head of Fazbear doesn't want Afton to rise again, why'd they restart the company in the first place? Why'd they build over the FNAF 6 pizzeria? Why'd they go through an elaborate cover-up to make the possessed Vanessa an important part of the company? Just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It would be the most inconsistent series of actions ever, but I did want to call attention to it since it seems to be the route that the official guide is trying to steer us towards. Moving on to minor point number 1.
Hold on, I want to go back to that part a second.
Elaborate cover-up to make the possessed Vanessa an important part of the company. Just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It would be the most inconsistent series of actions ever, but I did want to call attention to it since it seems to be the route that the official guide is trying to steer us towards. Moving on to...
This just hella confusing, actually, this last part.
Yeah, that's...
I think
it's probably what... Yeah, I think it's probably like mostly conflicting to people, because if the official guide is guiding you towards something else, and his theory directly contradicts that, like, I could see why people would start to get mad about that, right? Because it's ignoring the...
But also, like the game's lore is changing, like, in real time, almost, like, too fast. Like,
exactly.
It's like trying to, like, it's like kind of spiting MatPat's video a little bit. It's like, actually, I bet that was actually wrong. It's because, actually, this is right. I'm like, damn, like, wait, you didn't explain that correctly, actually.
Yeah,
it's like,
really
he's,
hard
like,
to deal
logically,
with.
like, I feel like it's a bit of both, but yeah.
Minor point number 1, the Five Nights at Freddy's games were made by the Rogue indie developer. Here's the thing, FNAF VR opens with this line.
That's why we have recreated many of these completely fictitious scenarios, lies that you've been fed over the last several years. into a hilarious VR game.
It's recreating the lies told to you by the indie developer. And since Help Wanted has direct
I keep showing this picture.
FNAFs 1 through 3, it means the games must be part of the fabrications that this developer made up. Also, all of this is heavily implied in the story of the same name, Help Wanted and Tales of the Pizzaplex, hence FNAF 1 through 3, canon games within the lore of the series. Big swing number 2, the elephant, or ghost in the room, Charlie infecting the Pizzaplex. John from the channel FNAF has made some great findings about Charlie's influence over the Pizzaplex. The cables that looked like the striped arms of the puppet, nightmare plushies that you find hidden across the Pizzaplex in weird places, the staff bots with creepy smiles and in your dreams written on the front. All of these things scream puppets. Plus, with the puppet mask not having
his daughter.
seems to imply that Charlie's spirit exists elsewhere.
Oh, Henry's daughter. Oh, she got. Yeah.
I think she had cat there. Oh, so she is a puppet. Okay, that was right. Okay, she was a puppet then.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, because we were wondering about that, but we forgot. Nice, good.
She is still in play, and she has an important role, especially in Gregory's post-it room.
The doors
to the post-it room in the game's code are called Charlie
Snatched
doors.
Up.
And inside we see
a bunch of
nightmare staff bot heads. Suspicious, to say the least. The channel ID Fantasy did a great theory looking at the post-it notes, concluding that the crying child / Greg...
Motherfucker, if you're looking at post-it notes like this and actually deciphering it properly, kudos to you, bitch. That's wild.
That's a lot of work. I ain't gonna lie.
Y'all's community with FNAF is so dedicated. Jesus.
It's like Fate fans.
Oh my god. Yeah, they're like out here doing like the multiple timelines and shit. Like, you go off.
Isn't alone in this room, but rather
I don't get it, but yeah.
Spirit Charlie. Charlie's spirit seems to have pulled a poltergeist. Instead of controlling one thing, she's affecting a lot of little details, foundational elements of the Pizzaplex. And this isn't the first time that we've seen this in the franchise.
She's like, fuck your family. You ain't bringing them motherfuckers back. You murdered my ass. Fuck you. Fuck Aftons. I hate them all. Fuck these motherfuckers. I didn't even get to have a childhood. Yep, hit them with it.
Spirits communicating with people through physical writing in the survival logbook. So we know that this is an established means of spirit communication within this franchise. And I suspect that to some extent it might be Charlie's influence making Gregory go haywire. Which brings me then to my final and probably biggest controversy in recent FNAF history, Gregory as Patient 46, the evil robot mastermind. Now, I know when I first came out with this theory a year ago, people were mad. But here's the thing, you don't have to take my evidence points for it anymore. The recent Tales from the Pizzaplex story, GGY, basically goes and just outright proves it. In GGY, we find out about a boy named Gregory who's getting all the high scores in the Pizzaplex arcade machines. When therapists start to go missing, it's confirmed that GGY is the one that's working to bump them off. And when animatronics start getting corrupted by a mysterious glitch, GGY's letters are found inside the code. He even chooses the code name Dr. Rabbit, for crying out loud. But obviously, by the time of security breach, Gregory is working against Burn Trap, Vanessa, and the animatronics. Why?
Burn Trap?
It's not really clear. I tend to believe that something...
After John, you're burning. Burning John.
Burn Trap John. Burn John.
Must have happened because of either lose his memory or be reset in some way. Maybe it was Charlie talking to him in his post-it room. Maybe he hit his head. Maybe it was the connection that he made with Mike on stage in Glamrock Freddy. Not exactly sure, and I don't think we have enough clues to solve any of it yet. But it makes sense from a story perspective why he'd start off evil on Afton's side and then switch to trying to destroy him and not knowing who he is in security breach. And with that, my friends, I'm wrapping this thing up. Congratulations, we are on page 40.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
I practically just wrote myself a Tales of the Pizzaplex short story. Have I answered everything? No. Does everything fit cleanly? No. But does it feel like the best and most cohesive narrative for all these characters that addresses most of the evidence we're given? Yeah. Honestly, it really does. And let's be honest with ourselves, the DLC will probably come out later this year and prove me completely wrong. Wouldn't be the first thing. Then comes the movie, whatever. My descent into madness.
I also like that he kind of admits to that too, and he's like willing to take the L on it. I appreciate that. Like,
true. It's very honest approach to making type of videos, because like he doesn't really know. He's just going off what he got and playing the games and trying to do as best he can with them. Yeah, which is always respectable.
That's the thing about a theory channel, right? It's literally just a theory. So even if it's wrong, or even if it's like whatever, or even if it's just like sometimes you mix up headcanon because sometimes you get confused, it happens, you know.
This continues. But regardless, I am so proud of this. This was a massive undertaking, and I'm so proud of our editors who have just destroyed.
Damn!
Shout out to y'all. Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah, this video was big, and also there was a lot of animations. Like half the time, it was just him moving. Like there was no much video. It was actually there. Yeah. Shout out to them.
Yeah, they did a great
across
job.
all 4 of these installments. You guys are the best. Thank you for pushing through on 20+ minute uploads. You are unreal, and your talent is unrivaled. I'm so lucky to work with you guys every single day. And like I mentioned before, I have the channel for an announcement regarding a talkback live stream with some special guests. Was I right? Was I wrong? I want to hear your feedback, so that one's coming up soon. And with that, my friends, we can finally rest. I can leave the demon to its demons with one final reminder that it was all just a theory. A game theory!
Oh shit! That was I did not mean to click that. I did not mean to click that. All right,
this is a security breach. Oh god.
Oh
DLC.
man. Oh, so he made one. He made one about security breaches DLC.
Yeah.
We'll play security breach first and then check that one out. All right.
Gotcha.
Thanks for watching, YouTube. We'll catch you in the next one. And thanks for your love and support always. Hope you stick around for us playing through all of the Five Nights at Freddy's games. And that's about it. And we'll catch you later. Don't forget to check out Klcoma. His channel is linked in the description below. And don't forget to stick around here on this channel too. Also, linked to the description is the original video that we are watching today. So make sure to support that too. We'll catch you later. Bye!